Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on November 9, 2022. Iranian leaders resist growing demands for referendum on constitution. COP27 news, live, Pakistan PM says time for rich nations to help is, now or never. US midterms, Donald Trump says his announcement next week will be very exciting day. BBC, Trump undermines election hours before voting closes. Protest, protest, protest. The Independent, Donald Trump casts vote in midterm elections ahead of a very big night. The Telegraph, Donald Trump may announce his presidential bid next week. Hindustan Times, Trump news, live, DeSantis met with 2024 chants after Florida winners, rattled, Trump vows to leak dirt on him. U.S. presidential election 2024, Trump's top Republican challenges. Russia calls up missing cook who was on board warship sunk in April. Oldest known written sentence discovered, on a head lice comb. The Guardian, first known sentence written in ancient alphabet discovered, on a head lice comb. Sky News, knit comb helps untangle first Canaanite sentence, news. The Times, ivory lice comb, a dating head scratcher, may hold earliest Canaanite sentence. The Times of Israel, Bronze Age comb reveals an ancient frustration with head lice. China shows off jets once shrouded in secrecy in clear display of military might. Sky News, Air Show seeks to position China as global competitor. The Independent, Zhuhai Air Show display reveals info on China's J-20, J-16 inventory. DefenseNews.com, China stages historic air show under cloud of zero COVID. Reuters, China shows off newly approved C919 passenger jet at major air show. Norway princess quits royal duties for alternative medicine. BBC, Norwegian princess quits royal duties to work with shaman fiancé. The Guardian, Norway princess gives up royal duties to be with American shaman who calls cancer a choice. The Independent, Norwegian princess ends royal role after row over shaman fiancé. Bracknell News, Princess Martha Louise will step down from royal duties after wedding to Durik Vivek. Lucky Powerball ticket holder scoops biggest lottery jackpot in history. $2.04 billion, £1.76 billion. Sky News, world's biggest lottery jackpot of $2 billion won by Californian ticket holder. The Times, Powerball winner scoops record $2 billion jackpot in American lottery. ITV News. ITV News, biggest lottery jackpot prize ever of $2.04 billion won in US. Ancient Rome, stunningly preserved bronze statues found in Italy. BBC, exceptional, trove of 24 ancient statues found immersed in Tuscan spa. The Guardian, archaeologists in Italy find remarkable hoard of ancient bronze statues. The Telegraph, discovery of 1st century BC Italian bronze statues will rewrite history. ITV News. ITV News, a discovery that will rewrite history, 24 exceptionally well-preserved bronzes unearthed by archaeologists in Tuscany. Tuvalu first to call for fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty at COP27. The Guardian, Tuvalu leads calls at COP27 for treaty to phase out fossil fuels. The Independent, sinking Pacific Island nation issues historic call for treaty to phase out fossil fuels. CNBC, teaching our children from books, not the sea, how climate change is eroding human rights in Vanuatu. The Conversation, treaty against fossil fuels floated at UN Climate Summit. COP27, ending war in Ukraine necessary to tackle climate crisis, Zelenskiy says. The Guardian, COP27, Ukraine a reason to act fast on climate change, Rishi Sunak. BBC, Putin's war in Ukraine has destroyed 5 million acres of forest, Zelenskiy tells COP27. The Independent, no effective climate policy without peace on earth, Zelenskiy tells COP27. Guardian News, COP27, Zelenskiy reveals how much forest destroyed by Russia's war, and accuses Putin of disrupting global climate action. Climate crisis will have huge impact on Africa's economies, study says. The Guardian, Global South needs $2 trillion a year to fight climate crisis. Al Jazeera English, African countries face economic devastation from climate hit to GDP. The Independent, developing countries will need $2 trillion a year in climate funding by 2030. The Guardian, Global South needs $2 trillion a year to tame, cope with climate. US midterm elections live, who's ahead, and who's behind. Check the latest results from the US. Sky News, US midterm elections, who won, who lost and what it means. BBC, 2022 midterm elections. Here are the states where recounts are likely. CNBC, millions of Americans to vote in US midterm elections. BBC News. Italy to allow migrants to leave stranded boats. BBC, rescue charity to take Italy to court over migrant boat standoff. Al Jazeera English. Italy allows 89 migrants to leave rescue ship after days being stranded at sea. The Independent, Italian government accused of breaching international maritime law. BBC News. BBC News, Italy allows 89 people to disembark rescue ship after days at sea. UN experts demand crackdown on greenwashing of net zero pledges. The Guardian, COP27, UN chief demands zero tolerance for greenwashing. The Times, banks can't stomach genuine climate targets. Quartz, COP27, UN urges Mark Carney-led climate initiative to meet higher standards. Financial Times, toxic cover-up, UN draws red line around net zero greenwashing. Ukraine urges US to stay united as potential Republican win threatens aid. The Guardian, White House vows unwavering Ukraine support even if Republicans win midterms. France 24 English, Ukraine frets about US midterms. Politico Europe, frustration over Ukraine aid could cost Democrats in midterm elections. The Times, US midterm elections, Republicans call out Biden's blank check for Ukraine. Latest news, WION. COP27, time to pay the climate bill, vulnerable nations. BBC, COP27, Pacific Islands call for global tax to mitigate climate disasters. The Independent, tax oil firms to pay for climate damage, island nations say. Al Jazeera English, COP27, small island nations call for windfall tax on big oil to pay for loss and damage. Euronews, no, free pass, Antigua and Barbuda PM tells COP27 India and China must pay for loss and damage. US election, control of Congress on cliffhanger after midterms. BBC, election results at a glance, early hope for Joe Biden as Republican red wave slows. The Telegraph, Republican wave fails to materialize as early midterm results roll in. Financial Times, no Republican blowout, our panel reacts to the initial US midterm results. The Guardian, breaking views, Republican victory paves road to softer dollar. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.